What's going on, y'all? This is Czar. I'm here giving you a review of the Akai MPC Element. The MPC Element is the newest addition to the MPC family, and it's also the most affordable, coming in at $149. Uh, I bought the Element because I used to own a 2000 XL, and I programmed a lot of drum patterns on them. I don't have the 2000 XL anymore, but I still have my files from it. So I looked at this as a very affordable way for me to be able to access my old MPC files. So I emailed Akai's tech support, and nobody emailed me back. So I called them and got someone on the line, and they told me that the Element did indeed open up old MPC files. So I purchased one, got everything set up, and it wouldn't load my old MPC files. Contacted Kai Tech Support again, and they confirmed that the MPC Element does not support legacy MPC files. So older MPCs save their programs as .pgm, and the newer MPCs save their files as .xpm. And when I say newer, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's the Studio and the Renaissance, and the Element saves as a .xpm. Anything before that is .pgm. So I was bummed out about that, but just to give you my story of everything that happened to me since I purchased it, um, it took me a couple days before I was even able to use it, because on the back of the box and Akai's website, for Mac OS 10, they say that it supports 10.6, which is Snow Leopard, which is what I had. Went to install everything, and popped up with a message saying check to see if this OS is compatible. Long story short, I needed Lion, so I called Apple and purchased Lion. Got Lion installed, got the MPC up and running. So first, I want to talk about the hardware for it. Anyone who's familiar with an MPC will be familiar with the transport controls on the Element. When I pulled it out the box, I immediately just had that MPC feel because of the familiarity with the transport controls, and really all the controls. Um, it's For $149. I'm really impressed with the build quality. I was really expecting something cheap, but they really did a good job with the build quality here. The pads feel nice. Um, Getting into the software, this is where things got disappointing for me. There's just a lot of little things that I expected to be able to do in the software that you can't do. First thing, the MPC Essentials is a software that comes with the Element. With the MPC Studio and Renaissance, you get the MPC software. They're basically the same program, except for the Essentials only has one track, so you only have one track to do what you need to do with it. For me, that's not a problem, but it is something you need to be aware of if you're looking to purchase this product. But things that really fell short to me in the software, and before I even get into this, I will say that uh, everything that disappointed me in the software is not a deal breaker, at least for me, but they are things that I find, I'll say, very annoying. So, here in the software, one of the first things I noticed was there's no pre count. Um, there's also no solo, and you can't solo a pad. And I believe I remember being able to do this on the 2000 XL with solo a pad. You do have track or pad mute, whatever, here. So you can mute the pads, but it'd be good to solo them to me. Looking in the mixer, this mixer was just a little underwhelming to me. You can't see levels, you just see a signal indicator. So we can hit something here. Yeah, you just see a signal indicator. I would prefer to see meters if it's an actual mixer. And also, even in the mixer, there's no solo button. Um, Another thing, let's look into the stock effects here. You can use your own third-party effects, which is really cool. Internal effects, though, were okay to me. We'll take a look at. So this is the opto compressor. No gain reduction metering, but one thing that was disappointing to me was Let's just pull up 3 compressors here. And if we open all 3 of these compressors, they all look the exact same. I would like to see them differentiate them a little bit. I will say this vintage compressor sounds really nice. I do hear a nice color and thickness added with it versus the other 2 compressors. Something else disappointing to me is the fact that you cannot individually bypass the plugins. If you want to remove one, you just have to remove it. I cannot find any way to actually bypass it. This down, I believe, removes it. No, that just closes the window. So, yeah, no way to individually bypass it. If you nice to remove it, I believe it's that X then. I can't even get it to open here. Okay, well, that's basically, you can't bypass the effect. And something else, well, let's just try another track here. It's not opening. Let's just go to another track and pull up another compressor here. Okay. Wow. So double clicking on the compressor and it won't even open for me anymore. So I tell you what, let's close out of this and let's just try to open it back up here. And let's see, let's just go here. Okay. Oh, that was an on-the-spot fail there. And this is not letting me turn the effects on. Wow, well, let's load a program in here, and maybe that's why. Which can take me to something else here that I also found annoying was I'm going to, let's see. So let's just grab some samples here. I'm just gonna let's do about 8 samples. So I would expect that if I drag these 8 samples over to this first pad, that my samples would just go on the first 8 pads, right? Well, with the MPC Element, let's drag to the first one. You'll see I've got 4 on bank A. Let's switch to B. And there's my other one. So if you load multiple samples, it just loads them all over the place. That was one of the most annoying things to me. And also, there's no easy way to edit the pads, move them, swap them. Let's say I wanted that pad down here. I can click it, drag it. It looks like it's going to move it, but it doesn't do it. Right-clicking does nothing. So I was really disappointed that there's no way to really edit your pads and move them around, especially since it loads your samples all over the place. Let's jump back to bank A here and see if we can get the mixer up and get the effects back up. So I've got signal on this first pad, and yeah, okay, well, this is really a fail. But what I was going to show you is that on plugins, you can, on really anybody else's plugin, if you command click or control click, the value will go back to 0. With these Akai plugins, there's no going back to 0 with them. It's another small thing I found disappointing. So, like I said, none of these really should be deal breakers, especially at $149. But they are things that, like I said, you need to be aware of. Also, another thing that I noticed was, and it hasn't done this to me that often since, but early on when I would close out or remove the MPC Essentials software from Studio One, it would just crash Studio One. And it took me a while to figure out that it was the MPC Essentials software that was doing that. And when I would just and we'll see if we can get it to do it now, actually. So I've got a lot of instances of Essentials here. I'm just going to get to removing them. And we're going to see if it crashes Studio One. All right, I made it through it. So yeah, early on, my first week with it, when I was removing the Essentials plugin, it would crash Studio One. I think I did reinstall everything a second or third time, and it's been pretty stable since then. Moving on to let's look at what you get with the Essentials software, which is it comes with a gig of factory sounds, and let's see if we can pull that up. Factory content. So it comes with these three programs well, not programs, but because if you go inside each one, let's see, yeah, there's a lot of different programs here. And let's look at UK dance. So there's a nice amount of content. It's about a gig worth of content that you get with it. It's just it'd be really good for getting started. I've been through a couple of them, and they sound really good. One thing with was always popular with MPCs was having your own drum samples and sampling, which you can do with the Essential software. So if we go to sample record, you can record samples. Now you can't record in the plugin, as far as I can tell. If you're using it as standalone, you can record into that. I would have liked to see Akai do something to, gray this out, or just something to let you know that you can sample in here. I haven't figured out how to sample in here, but if I open it in standalone, the sampling pops right up, and I'm able to sample. So that's really about it. Hopefully I've answered some questions as, is it worth it? Do I think it's worth it at $149? I do. You just have to just be willing to deal with the shortcomings of the software itself. I will say everything that I mentioned can be addressed with a software update from Akai. I don't expect them to do all of this, but it is possible. So I guess there is still hope for that. And one last thing about the software that was annoying, if I jump back to the main page here, let's say I'm just going to load up a program here. So that's one program. Sometimes when you load up multiple programs, let's see. So it didn't do it this time. Let's load one more. Okay, so it didn't do it. But sometimes when you load multiple programs, this program here lists all the programs. Sometimes it will select itself back to none after you load a program. So you'll load a program, then you go to hit the pads, and there's nothing there. Well, not none. I'm sorry. It'll go to program 1, and there's nothing on program 1. So that's another thing to look out for. Just make sure that you always have a program selected, which right now it's doing as it should. I mean, if you load a program, and see there, it just did it. I loaded this Sotrill program, and in program here, it still says program 1. You would just think logically that if you load a program, you immediately want to hear and have access to that program. Let's try this destroy program. So there, it loaded the program, but it did not switch to the program automatically. And it did with the first few, as you saw. But when you get to load multiple programs, it doesn't switch to the program you loaded. And that's, I'd probably say, the second most annoying thing that I found with the software. So, yeah, the MPC Element, like I said, really good build quality, underwhelming software. But however, I still think it is worth the price tag. All right, catch y'all next time.